Imagine you got a time machine where you input a day 1 year from today and you reach that time and you see yourself as 1 year older. So take out your phone and check it. Same habits, same excuses, same life, and suddenly it hits you. The opportunities you ignored, the risks you were too scared to take, and the messages you never sent. Also, the dreams you kept waiting to start. Here is the painful truth. A year from now, you will not regret the things you tried. You will regret the things that you never attempted. And if you stay till the end of the video, I will tell you a very emotional story about a Hollywood actor and his Kolkata connections, which he remembered on his deathbed. You might realize that the biggest regret of your life is not failure, it is hesitation. Hey, Atma Guru here, and today we are going to talk about something that is uncomfortable. Something that most people avoid thinking about. Regrets. Because the truth is, people do not reach the end of their life crying about the things they did not try. They cry about the chances they never took. There's a famous idea in psychology called the regret minimization framework. So let me simplify it. Imagine yourself at your age of 80. You have a time machine, isn't it? Use that. You are sitting in a quiet room. The world has moved on. Your body is slower and your time is almost over. And now look back at your life. What hurts more? Trying something and failing, or realizing that you never tried that? Studies constantly show something shocking. People regret their inactions more than their actions. Not the business that failed, not the job interview they messed up, not even the date that failed, but they regret the idea that they never launched, the conversation they were too scared to start, the dream they kept postponing until it quietly died. Because failure gives you a story and regrets gives you a ghost. And the ghosts don't disappear, they just follow you, track you. They whisper things like, what if I tried? What if that actually worked? What if that moment could actually change your life? Think about it. Every successful people that you follow today had that one time when they looked ridiculous. The entrepreneur with zero customers, the video creator who created and nobody watched his videos, the athlete training when nobody believed in them. Sometimes months and years and like decades for me, they look like failures like I do. But here is the difference, and I'm telling you from my own experience that I preferred to look ridiculous than to choose regrets in my life. And before we end today, I want to leave you with a story, not about success, not about fame, not about money, a story about a regret, a huge, touching regret. Because the topic of this episode is simple. A year from now, you won't regret the things you did. You would regret the things you didn't try. And sometimes the most painful regrets are the promises we made with our soul and never fulfilled it. Let me tell you about a young man from Seattle, USA. Years ago, long before the fame, the red carpets, the interviews, he was just an enthusiastic 20-something traveler. Curious about the world, curious about life, and he came to India. And during that trip, he spent a few weeks in Kolkata. And he started working in a small place in Kalighat called Mother Teresa's Home for Dying Destitute. And if you have ever been there, you know that it changes you. It's not a place of luxury or comfort. It's a place where people in the end of their lives, they come for dying with dignity. He helped clean the rooms, washing the clothes, and he sat beside people who had no one left in this world. And one evening he was sitting in the room upstairs having tea with other volunteers, and another long-time Indian volunteers was sitting beside him. And this young volunteer was working there for a few years then. The American actor, who was still a dreamer then, he said something like this: someday I'll do something big for humanity, something really special and meaningful, and something that actually matters, something which really helps them. And the Indian volunteer To him, he was saying this, said like this. He said, then don't wait too long because life moves faster than we think. That moment stayed with him. He left Kolkata feeling changed, feeling like life had given him a mission. But then life happened. A few months later, something unexpected happened. He got a small opportunity in Hollywood, not a big role, but then things started changing. One role led to another, and then the whole industry started noticing him. Within a few years, he became successful, then very successful. The money started flowing in, the fame grew, the invitations grew, the world opened its gates and arms for him. And then something happened. He forgot. Not immediately. At first, he told himself, I'll come back to that dream later and let me have that fame, and maybe that fame could help me in achieving that dream. But success has a strange gravity. It pulls you deeper and deeper in its track, in its orbit. There were bigger deals to chase, more powerful people to attract, more wealth to accumulate, more show off. And quietly, he started ignoring his mission, his dream. And he stopped listening to that voice of that Indian volunteer that was coming to him. And instead, he started listening to the louder voices, agents, investors, industry circles, opportunities that made him more famous, but not better or happier. The world celebrated him. Magazines called him exceptional. The awards called him brilliant. The promise that he made to himself that began in the small hospice in Kolkata slowly faded into the backgrounds. Then years passed, decades passed. Then one night, late after filming, something happened. A terrible accident. Sudden, violent, unexpected. And now the man who once had everything is lying in the hospital bed. Machines around him, silence in the room. No cameras, no red carpets, no audience cheering. Just him and his thoughts. And strangely, he's not thinking about his greatest movies, his Oscars, and the fame, the money, nothing. His mind travels across continents, across decades, to the quiet streets of Kolkata, the sounds, the smells, the sights, to the face of the bright young Indian volunteer on the steps of Kalighat. And suddenly, he remembers that sentence he spoke, and it changed everything. Don't wait too long. Life moves faster than we think. And that realization hits him like a wave. He had the influence, he had the resources to help millions, if not billions. But he kept postponing it year after year. Opportunity after opportunity, and now, lying on the deathbed, looking at the posh ceiling of his hospital's room, he understands something devastating. His greatest regrets isn't the mistakes he made, but the mission he abandoned. The version of himself he never became, the good he never did. And in that quiet moment, all his success seems nothing, seems minimal. Because when the life is ending, the question is not how famous you were, not how much money you have in your bank. The question becomes, did you do the things that your soul wanted you to do? That is the real weight of regret, not failures. The unfinished courage. And that brings me back to you, the one who is listening to me now. Maybe there is something inside you too, a project that you wanted to start, a dream you wanted to chase, the difference you wanted to make, something meaningful, something your future would want you to do, something your future self would thank you for. Do not wait for the perfect time, because the perfect time has a strange habit of not arriving. And one day, far sooner, we will all look back at our lives and ask the same question. Did I follow the safe path, or did I follow my soul? So start, even if it is small, even if it is imperfect. Just start. Just begin, because you still can use my services. And if you want more videos to push you more stronger, that push you to think bigger and live bolder, then make sure you subscribe. This is Atmaguru reminding you that your future regret is watching you right now. Don't give it a chance to exist. Pranam.